Gauteng authorities say they've escalated enforcement against unsafe public transport. 64 unroadworthy minibuses have been taken off the road and thousands of infringement notices issued in a week-long blitz across Johannesburg and Tshwane. But commuters ask, is this sustainable enforcement or a seasonal crackdown? And taxi operators ask, are we fixing safety or punishing poverty in poor fleet renewal? We're joined by Gauteng Transport Department Spokesperson Lesiba Mpya. Lesiba, appreciate your time this afternoon. Now, what exactly made the 64 minibuses unroadworthy? Was it mostly tyres, issues around brakes, structural issues, or licensing?
Thank you very much for having us. The campaign started not during the festive season. It's a campaign that would have started, the MEC launched it back in July. It's a campaign where the department would have also signed a memorandum of understanding with the RTMC to have a special focus on passenger public transport. It must not be construed with targeting the taxis, but the MEC has taken a hard stance in terms of the statistics that would have been reflected earlier in the year, as well as the same time the previous year. And I think what we welcome, which was what was released by the minister a few days ago, is the fact that this time last year the statistics were quite high. However, we sit at 26% at this current point. You would have heard that about 95 accidents would have been collectively taken away, about 105 or so. People. So the MEC is very steadfast in ensuring that at least there is reliability and affordability, as well as safety aspects, and she's acting in the best interest of both parties, both those who participate for remuneration in the industry, as well as those that are ferried, commonly referred to as passengers.
Lesiba, you found 168 operators without valid licenses and 147 minibuses without valid license discs. How do those vehicles get onto the roads daily without being picked up earlier? Are you conceding a gap in routine enforcement?
No, not at all. You'd remember that we are in a population of over 4 million vehicles in Gauteng. And much as these are one too many, they're quite alarming in terms of the number. But I must say to you that with the heightened law enforcement, that is the only way we're discovering that we are having such, non-compliances and total regard of the law. We have not only been picking up, unroadworthy vehicles. We've been picking up a lot of non-compliance in as far as complying with the National Land Transport Act, where operators are operating without valid operating licenses. And I think that the MEC, together with the team, would have taken a stance that in Gauteng, there's going to be a new operating license regime where the department delivers it and everyone must comply with it. But these vehicles, Hugo, dating as far back as June, July, August, we've been receiving daily stats of impounded vehicles that do not meet the actual required standards. And we are not prepared to actually allow these vehicles on the road until their owners correct them and repair them. There's obviously a penalty where a person will have to say, with regards to fixing this car, this is the penalty that is regulated by law, by the way, that I'm going to be obligated to pay. But we have taken a no-nonsense stance in Gauteng, and gone are the days when we are going to have what we are commonly referred to as moving coffins on our road, taking away lives, and there's impunity and no consequences as a result. That is the firm stance of the Department of Roads and Transport in Gauteng. That is the firm stance of the MEC Kiriboni Dialetlabela.
Well, we're certainly glad to hear that, but taxi operators say compliance costs are high. Is there any support that exists to help the sector meet standards, especially for smaller operators?
Look, there's ongoing, sessions there's ongoing meetings with the taxi industry. And I think the taxi industry is very committed to ensuring that the people of Gauteng get ferried safely to and from their destinations, particularly when during this time of holiday makers. The industry would have committed themselves. They even have a focused program called Hlokomela, where their operators themselves have got to put on the road vehicles that are fit and proper to ferry people from point A to B. And yes, of course, those fares and the fact that they are saying that they are quite high it's a matter that has been raised. It's a matter that is receiving attention with the MEC. But what we have got to take into cognizance of is that already these are regulated fares. And you know that the regulator is the National Department of Transport. And but however, there is a conversation happening between all parties concerned. We want to have a firm, a partnership with all our stakeholders, and all partners must feel equal. All partners must play their role, and that is why the MEC is giving an ear to the concerns that are raised, particularly by the taxi industry, to actually make business conducive and assist them to be, business people that are going to flourish looking forward.
Now, what's your message to commuters who feel unsafe but feel they have no alternative? What should they look for, and how do they report an unsafe vehicle or the number of issues around overloading that we're coming across? We've just picked up in the last few moments that a vehicle that was headed towards the Beitbridge border post with the capacity to carry 65 individuals had more than double that number.
Hugo, our target here is non-compliance with the law. Our target is not necessarily operators. Whilst you are saying that, we're also dealing with, resisting of arrests in many instances. We're dealing with quite a high number of those who are arrested for being under the influence of substances, most commonly alcohol. However, my message or the department's message to the commuter is that we have confronted lawlessness head on, and we are not going to, play kid gloves with lawlessness. And we can assure the commuter that the MEC is acting in the best interest of commuters in particularly, and wants to see an ecosystem that flourishes between the operator, the law enforcer, as well as the commuter. So our message is very clear that we are ensuring that you are being ferried in a very safe and reliable public passenger transport system. And we are pulling no punches. We've got boots on the ground. Police are everywhere, ensuring that the citizens of Gauteng in particular are safe. They travel safely where they go, and they come back safely where they come back. The MEC would have emphasized that we need the people of Gauteng to continue, stimulating the economy moving forward. We know very well that these are engineers, petrol attendants, teachers, doctors, and so forth that are traveling and coming back. And we're actually putting all measures in place to make sure that everyone is safe.
Fantastic. Lesiba Mpya, Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport, thank you for speaking to us.